We were outgunned. They had better weaponry. It was so many rounds going off so fast that it sounded, I described it as like hearing a bedsheet tear. It was buzz.
We heard the first barrage of gunfire from the SLA house, and we're about a block away. Well, there's an alleyway that runs parallel to Compton, all the way down to 54th. And I grabbed the microphone, and I grabbed my cameraman, and we start running down the alleyway, unspooling the cable, in this bulky minicam.
Okay, we're right here on the corner of 54th and Compton now. We're about across the street and 2 houses away from where all the shooting has been going on.
We go straight through to Compton, and I can see the back of the SLA house.
Now, if you look close, you'll see fire going both in and out. See that rag bobbing up and down in the gunfire? Okay, there's an enormous amount of fire being concentrated on that yellow house.
We were too energized yet to be scared. At one point, there's a policeman standing by a telephone pole. Bob Simmons, one of our other reporters, joined me at the scene. He came up with the craziest stunt of the day.
Can you indicate to us which side is the police target? They aiming to go this way or that direction? Which way is it?
They're going this way.
Away in that direction. All right.
And then all of a sudden we hit zip.
Close as I have.
Look out there.
Literally, I could feel the breeze from the bullet go right by my ear, and it thwacked into the building right behind us.
Look out there. That's bad. That's bad.
That was we just got missed by a bullet. Oh, I don't.
It went through the house right beside us here.
That's when we got scared.
We better get out of here, you guys. This is incredible.
This shootout was incredibly dramatic, but what made it even crazier and even more of a national obsession was that everyone thought Patty Hearst was inside the house. So this fight was being watched around the world, with everyone thinking that this heiress is about to be murdered on live television.
We don't want to kill everybody in the house. We don't shoot at a house because we want to kill the people there. We want to stop the gunfire. The gunfire that's going indiscriminately throughout the community could hurt other people outside that are not involved, that are trying to get away from it.
This was urban guerrilla warfare. There was this sense of, like, we've got to suppress this. We've got to make this stop. That day, I knew that the whole focus of the police was to stop the shooting. These were people intent on killing as many people as they could, and they didn't care how many innocent people got killed.
We hand through tear gas grenades. They had chemical agents masks, and they withstood all of the chemical agents we put in there, and we put in a bunch. Then the house caught on fire.
They just shooed the people away. We're trying to bring you a shot of the burning building. There's still an exchange of fire.
And Jerry made announcements again and said, hey, the house is on fire. You need to surrender.
Occupants of 1466, come out the front door now. You won't be harmed. Come out of that house now. You will not be harmed.
I saw the door open, and I took my weapon and I aimed at the doorway. And then I saw Christine Johnson, I believe her name was, and she came out with her hands up. And I ordered a ceasefire, and it stopped. And then she walked out to safety, and she moved across and was taken into custody by the detectives there.
Is it a man, woman,
Are they white? Are they white people? Let him talk. Are they white people? Back up. Are they white people?
I didn't know who she was. You don't shoot at a person that's surrendering.
Everybody in that house had the same opportunity she did.
And then there was black smoke, and it was obviously the place was on fire. And, and it was basically time for them to stop, and they wouldn't stop.
There is still fire coming from inside the target house, which is across the street, as I said before.
Patty Hearst was not in my mind at all. My safety and the safety of my officers was more important to me than whether she was in there or not. If she's in there, that's her problem, not mine. I did what I had to do. If she was in there, God willed it.
May 17, 1974 is the worst day of my life.
The house is burning and they're still shooting.
I think they were that committed or that crazy.
When they recovered that body, everybody thought that was Patty Hearst.
We had hundreds of agents covering leads. It's as though they disappeared.
Greetings to the people. This is Tanya. I know what I have to do.
She was on a mission.
How can you not love someone like that?
Death to the fascist insect that preys upon the life of the people.
Patty Hearst turned her back on her life of privilege.
We had to prove that.
The gun was loaded. I am a soldier in the People's Army.
She must have been forced to do it.
She could have escaped if she'd wanted to. She saved my life. I think she was spectacular.
We don't know where she is.
LAPD, they were closing in.
You know, make our day.
I did what I had to do. If she was in there, God willed it.
The granddaughter of William Randolph Hearst was abducted by two men and a girl in a bizarre kidnapping.
No ransom note, no phone calls, no word, nothing.
The SLA is the People's Army, and we fight in their interests.
The FBI said the girl in the wig with the automatic rifle was Patricia Hearst.
Rich college girl turned armed terrorist in a matter of weeks. Southern California's largest manhunt continues.
For someone my age, I've been through an awful lot.
We don't know where she is.
Mom, Dad, I'm okay.
Coming off now, the chopper is overhead observing the fire is raging. Now we've got a better vantage point, and you can hear the officer. I don't know if you can hear the officer yelling at us, but he just yelled that we are in the line of fire, and the police now are broadcasting to the people in the house to cease fire. I can hear their megaphone.
As soon as we turn on the TV, we see cops scurrying around and we hear gunfire.
The area is still definitely sealed. That automatic weapons fire is, from what we can gather here, coming from a police officer's weapon. There are more police now. This place is getting, filling up with police.
I remember her saying at one time, she thought she heard Willie's gun. She thought she identified Willie firing back at them. She was still in this badass mode.
We're trying to bring you these live pictures as they occur. We're using the car here as covered.
We thought all the other stations were competing with us for picture. We didn't know we had the only